So the question is, how was the transition from Koryezu to here? And I would say that it's kind of been a long transition because I've had to really adjust my teaching, because I was teaching to a particular type of kid. I was teaching to a girl in St. Louis who chose this school out of several other options, and so now I'm at a school in which, first of all, it's co-ed. The kids are coming from all different kinds of backgrounds in the way of different educations, different religions, different ethnic backgrounds. And so that's been such a challenge to walk around the room and say, that kid needs my help understanding this question because English isn't his first language. Or that kid over there needs my help because they've never studied Catholicism. They don't even know what I'm talking about when I say the 7 sacraments of the church. Those were all things I took for granted at my old school. And here I feel like, in a sense, like I've really had to put aside my agenda and say, what do the kids need from me? And so that's been a real transition. Transition to the weather has not been difficult. It's been nice. And then probably the size of the house has been a transition. But so what do I miss most about Koryezu? I would say the traditions of the school, like just the little fun things that you guys do all the time, like simply saying, okay, let's just dress up in our pajamas today, or let's Penny Queen. I miss Penny Queen. Just those little traditions that we had as a school. Different months will come and pass through, and I'm saying to myself, oh, I guess they're getting ready for their auction, or they're doing this or doing that. So I miss that. And then definitely the people, just the people, the sisters, the teachers, the students, and yeah. I think one of my best memories of Koryezu was when I put a picture of what I thought was Jesus Christ on the screen, and it was actually the picture of a dog's butt. And I had it up for 2 class periods, each was 90 minutes long, and it wasn't until the very end of my last class that somebody raised their hand and said, sister, do you know what that's a picture of? And I said, yeah, it's a picture of Jesus. And they said, that's a dog's butt. And so then I don't think I've laughed that hard in a very long time. So I just sat down and laughed at my desk, and that's one of the best memories ever of being a teacher. And actually I share it with a lot of teachers, because when you're having a bad day, you can always say, you know what, it's all right. The students, they see it all. So. Okay, so the question is, how has it been adjusting to a new school, especially one that's co-ed? In the beginning, I was nervous because I had never taught guys. And so I was like, okay, well, I know how girls learn about God, and I know how they best learn. I know how they seem to be very comfortable talking about God and, religion and stuff like that. But I didn't quite know how the boys would be. I didn't know, like, if guys would feel comfortable talking about God, or if they were like, why are we talking about God? Or I didn't know what to expect. But what's been awesome to see is like the level of depth in the guys, because I already knew that the girls wanted to go deep. But I've also noticed that guys are very interested in truth and in seeking a relationship with Jesus Christ. And so that's been really, really neat to witness. So lots of great questions, like about the weather and what do you like to do in your spare time, and do I miss you guys? And the answer is yes, I do miss you very much, because I think when a sister goes to a place, she doesn't go there with half of her heart, and she doesn't go there, I'll just go here and be here for however long, but I'm not going to sink my roots in, I'm just going to be here. When you go to a place, you go as though you're going to be there forever. And you sink your roots in deep, because for apostles, that's who we are. We live life to the, I guess, the extreme, you could say, in the way of just trying to do as much as we can do and be all that we can be. So when we go to a place, we invest in the people, and then we miss them terribly when we don't see them anymore. It's almost like people become our children to a certain degree, and like families, we just connect with families. So I do miss you guys, and I do pray for you, and I do check up on you on Facebook and see how you're doing. So that's sad, but at the same time, what happens is you go to a new place and you go through that grieving process and that like kind of like sad time, and then you say, but I'm an apostle of the Sacred Heart, and I know that God wants me somewhere new. And that's a gift, to be able to be free, to like be for the people. So once you kind of make that turn and say, okay, God, what do you want me to do in this new place? Then it's very life-giving and free. And then you make roots there, and you start to notice like, oh, I'm able to go deeper in this way. Oh, I'm able to go deeper in this way. And then it feels like you're in a sense living again, and you're connecting with people again, which is what we're all about, is like, you know, bringing Christ and letting Christ be brought to us through his people. So, but on lighter notes, what are some fun things to do? I love to run. It's the cheapest sport there is. Yeah, all you need is a pair of shoes, a good pair of shoes. But you know, you can just go off and do that. And then we have absolutely gorgeous areas around here. We've got a lake. We've got some really pretty grounds. So there's lots of opportunities to be outside. The weather's been gorgeous these last few days, so that's been nice. I don't miss the snow, I don't miss the fall, like that's not really hitting me too terribly right now. And then, what else do I like to do? I love to go see movies, especially movies that I think are going to be like life-changing. I love to watch Downton Abbey. I love to go to sports games. Like the basketball games were awesome this year to go to. The football games were fun. The volleyball games were a lot of fun. Baseball's harder for me to watch because it's a little bit slower, but I'm gonna try it. But that's really fun, just to feel so much school spirit. So this question was, how have you adjusted, or how have you dealt with making such drastic changes in your life, like going from a different state to a different school to a different community? Honestly, the hardest part for me has probably been the fact that I've been here before. Like, I went to Florida State University, and I was a college kid, and I was very, very connected with the Catholic Student Union at FSU. And it was very life-giving, and it was really cool for me. And then I came back, now I'm back here, but I'm a sister. So it's like I'm different. And so it's been reconnecting with people, but in a really different way. Like, I can't hang out at CSU all the time like I used to because I'm in a different spot. And so that's been kind of a strange adjustment. And like, some of my favorite places to hang out are like no longer there. You know, some of the coffee shops aren't there. So, oh, sad. So that's been a little bit tricky. And then I would say in the first couple of months just before December, just adjusting to probably a new just co-ed high school. And I think we went from a 90-minute block at Coriezo to a 50-minute block here. So all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I have every class every day. Oh my gosh, because I was used to having a class every other day. So it seemed a little bit easier to plan, but now it's like you gotta have something every single day. So that's a little bit challenging. And for the students too, they might have homework every single night in class, and so they gotta do the homework every night, or more than just, they meet more than just 3 times a week. Let's see. Also, I live in a very, 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 very tiny house. It's about this big. And there's 3 of us that live in it. So there's not a lot of, Coriezo is massive, a big convent, 16 bedrooms. It was huge. So you could run off and do something over there, and like people wouldn't even know you're in the house. And so now it's a lot more challenging in the way of just space, just like, having your own space. And I think that's it. So what are some things that I want to do on my bucket list? How did I know I wanted to become a sister? And, just kind of more of the practicals. Do you run in a habit? Yes, I do run in a habit, and that's so that people can know that I am a sister, and so also that I can remind myself that I'm a sister. It's kind of like wearing a wedding ring. Like, you just know who you are all the time, who you belong to. And you get lots of fun comments. People are like, "Oh, pray for me, sister," or if you can do it, I can do it. They're cute. And then I think that I realized that I wanted to be a sister when I came to Florida State 10 years ago, and basically met someone who was thinking about religious life. And she was like a young person, and I thought it was just for older people. So I thought, this is interesting. And but in the end, God calls you, like He grabs your heart, and it's a strange feeling because you feel like, to a certain degree, you can't say no because you know He's calling you. And so to say no would be like if your mom said to you, hey, I really want you to come to the doctor's office with me because I think I'm going to get some bad news, and I really like you there. You can say no, but you can't say no because you know what she needs and you know what she wants. And in a sense, you want to go with her, even though the way might be difficult. It's the same in religious life. You might be thinking to yourself, the way is difficult, but you feel such a strong pull on your heart that it's almost like you can't do anything otherwise. And then bucket list, go to like every country I can. Like just you need somebody to see Zimbabwe for some reason, I'll be there. I just want to go to different countries and just see what there is to see. Okay, so you guys picked some hard questions. So how do I am I happy? Am I fulfilled? And how do I believe that God is real? Those are great questions, especially because my spouse is intangible. Like I can't reach out and touch God. I can't do that. So when I think of happiness, I know you guys have learned this in class, but I really try to not think of it as a feeling. Like if I say, do I have moments of feeling very happy? Absolutely. When I joke with the sisters and we're laughing, we have a lot of moments of happiness. I have happiness with my students. I've heard somebody say, instead of asking, are you happy, is your life meaningful? And in that way, I would say 150% yes. I feel like my life has so much meaning. And am I satisfied? Yes. Not because I always feel like all my needs are being met, but rather because I know that I'm doing God's will. And there's a great satisfaction in knowing that you're doing what God wants you to do. And it requires a lot of sacrifice, but there's so much fulfillment in the sacrifice. And I came to a conclusion this summer, and it was that on this side of life, we'll never be completely satisfied. And that's okay, because that's what heaven is for. So if you're feeling unsatisfied, as long as you're not in like the depths of some horrible thing, that's okay, because like we're created for God. And so when we come back to God, that's when it's all going to come together. And that's when my real satisfaction will take place. As far as knowing if God's real, I pray for the gift of faith every day, because that's the only way that I can believe He's real. Things that He has revealed to me in prayer show me that He's real. Like the fact that He called me to be a sister, I never was thinking of being a sister. That definitely didn't come from me. So those kinds of things show me that He's real. So the advice I would give to a junior or senior that doesn't know what they want to major in yet is, I would give you the advice that my brother gave me, and he said, you don't have to know what you're going to do with the rest of your life. You just have to know the next step. So if you don't know what you want to major in, not a big deal. You just need to know the next step. What colleges have you applied to? Which one do you think is going to be the best for you? Then when you get there, you can start thinking, okay, what's my next step? Maybe it's really to start figuring out my major. So, and pay attention to the attractions of your heart, where you feel inspired and where you feel full of life, and go with that.